Hello, dear family in the astrology field. Thank you for visiting my channel. I am back, Satsangat here, to talk about the Cancer full moon. I don't want to let this pass since it is a crucial moment in I think is the decisive full moon in 2025, where everything starts, every challenge, I will say, starts. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this full moon and also what is happening in the following days, closing the cycle. So let's get started. And you need to remember that this full moon will also happen with the moon out of bounds, which gives an additional hum to the energy of this moon that is already conjunct Mars and in sextile with the Uranus. We'll see all the details. But before we start that, I want you to remember the new moon in Capricorn. Which happened on December 30th, because that's when this moon cycle started. So the themes that are now developing started in the sign of Capricorn, which is the sign of the society, the security in the society, the all the institutions and organizations that are working in order to provide a social life where people can live together in peace, right? So all the rules, the regulations, all the government institutions and authorities and officials and etc. So that is Capricorn. Now, the full moon happens in Cancer. So we are talking about the axis of Cancer Capricorn, which is the axis of father and mother. And this is very important because the father and mother are the archetypes, are the archetypes of protection, of the if you want, the institution of society starts with the family, right? Formed with the father and the mother, and that provide a nest for the family to grow. So, in that, with that in mind, we need to analyze the full moon in Cancer and how it has been, how the moon cycle has been developing. And we saw in the previous video, I showed you I showed you here the declinations and the parallels and contraparallels, if you remember, that were exacerbating or increasing the tension, the energy. And I'm not sure about you, but in my daily life, I have been feeling this tension increase and increase and increase by the day, emotionally, with this anxiety, this nervous tension that is in the air because of all the developments that we are experiencing, not only in the world, but also in the personal life. So here you have the waxing square that happened in Aries, which is also ruled by Mars. So we start already at the waxing square. We already start feeling this Martian energy, which is Mars in Cancer, retrograde. Mars in Cancer is defensive, is protective, is it's Mars that is going over the resentments, those aggressions that were not expressed, and we are going back and review them. And remember that Mars will come back to this place. So we are, it's like ruminating, right? Brewing something. So something is brewing in the air. Mars is um, has the activity of Mars in Cancer is a protection of reviewing what I can do, what can I do in order to provide shelter, to provide care. And we saw that the moon was already was also out of bounds in the new moon, and Mars is now out of bounds starting December 31st. Here you see the declination of Mars, as well as Ceres. Anyways, now we are at the full moon point, and we also have the moon is at 2549. Mars is 2454, and Mercury is now out of bounds in the full moon. So this is a very powerful moment where everything will be, let's say, illuminated, where we have such an explosion of energy with Mars and the moon, emotional energy that is coming out, very explosive, aggressive, and assertive, and it's like a volcano coming out, emotionally speaking. Remember that Mars is still opposing Pluto at the same time because it's just 3 degrees, 4 degrees of orb. And for an opposition, it's still an opposition. Now, so the moon, of course, is an opposition to the sun. And with these two oppositions, we are working with relationships. And if you have any problems, conflicts, grudges that you have been storing in any relationships, because this is not just partners or spouses or husband and wife. This is just any relationship may have this opposition. And oppositions are also culminations. So it means that something is culminating, something is taking the full of light, the full of light on the subject. So something is coming out in the open, very clear. We understand very clear what is going on. And in this case, Mars is, as I said, protecting, defending, and looking for a place of shelter, right? A shelter, a place of safety and security. And on the other side, we have Pluto manipulating, trying to control, to subdue, to submit. So, and examples are in the world are uncountable, right? So you have you only have to open the paper or go to your favorite news station or news media, and you find conflicts in abundance. And where one part is trying to dominate, to impose, to even to reform the other party, right? Trying to change, to transform, to mold, and to crash sometimes. Pluto has the power of crushing, of destroying, very cruel methods. That trying to force the other part to do what the Pluto archetype represents once. So in Mars is defensive, trying to protect, trying to. If you've seen, for example, in Venezuela or in Gaza or in wherever you turn, you can see this patriots. They are defending their homeland. Against the dominance, the cruelty of the one that has the power in hand and is crushing the people. So it's unfortunate, but this is what this full moon is all about, showing clearly and in full light this and as I said, the moon is also out of bounds. So the emotional, the psyche is completely out of control, if you want, and it's in the decan of Pisces. So this involves the collective, and even in the collective unconscious. So that's why we feel this uneasiness, this anxiety, and this. That we know that we want to do something, but we don't know what exactly. And Mars is hesitant because it's retrograde. And the other factor of a retrograde planet is that Mars, in this case, if Mars has to take action, it will take 3 times more effort and 3 times more work and 3 times even more time in order to achieve what it needs to be achieved. So this is very, very tense and cruel, I would say, kind of energy. And it's a sextile. The moon is sextile Uranus. So here we have like an escape, like an alternative route, an alternative way, and it probably has to do with resources, either energy, money, finances, banks, assets. So this is the escape. We need to do something out of the norm, something that is not recognized, it doesn't follow the rules, is really a surprise, unexpected, original, maybe something out of the blue as well. And it's in the decan of Capricorn. So for example, this could be something out of the norm coming from some governmental institutions, some corporations, some institutions that have power and control in society. So for taking the example of Venezuela, for example, there are rumors, I would say, that go with this kind of energy. For example, having mercenaries, they're having, for example, offering a huge amount of money for this dictator and offers from mercenaries to do an intervention, a military intervention. So things that go out of the norm, that they are not the diplomatic, that are not the regular recognized and accepted methods in, for example, international relations. So this is all under the table, right? Under the radar, etc. So those are just rumors. So we really don't know what's going on or what is going to happen. But certainly nothing that is following the rules is effective in this case, right? So nothing that is official, it won't work. So, uh, but, well, that's just to give you an example. But in your personal life, you will probably be confronted in with a partner, with an associate, with someone else, whoever it is. It could be your boss, it could be your neighbor. It depends where in your chart this falls. And also, um, it depends if it touches any of your planets or your angles or your astrology. For that, I would need to see your natal chart in order to tell you exactly what kind of a confrontation you may have. Uh, I don't know if it is the fourth house, Cancer, and the 10th house, Capricorn, then it could be a boss that is manipulative or is overbearing, and then you trying to protect yourself and you go home for the day because you don't want to have a confrontation, but at that time you're brewing a way to protect yourself, etc., right? That then you will have to choose second house. That will be a Uranus in Taurus in the second house, if that was the case. Something alternative, something different, using money or I don't know. Uh, I don't know, something with money, or something or maybe you decide on the negative, you decide to binge eating, right? Taurus, second house, eating, overindulge, do something that you've never done before, or just you decide, okay, I'm going to solve this tension by having ice cream, for example, something sweet, and a flavor that I've never had before. So that would be Uranus in Taurus, second house, for example. That's just an example to illustrate how this dynamic may work. Um, so we also have a trine with Neptune, which uh, confuses more the situation, it makes it more muddy. Um, I also we need to consider also the North Node that is already in Pisces and South Node already in Virgo. We are now entering the new phase of eclipse season. So the eclipses from now on will happen on the axis of Virgo Pisces, no Pisces Virgo, except for the end of March eclipse that will happen in Aries. But that will be the last one. Now, later on in the day, on the day of the full moon, that happens at 4:26 p.m. Central Time, uh, later on, about 6 hours later, um, we will have the moon exactly conjoin Mars. Sorry, Mars. So we will continue carrying that energy, that anger, that frustration, maybe, or resentment for some time. And not only that, but on Wednesday, the Sun will oppose Mars. And And later on, at the end of the week, well, for next week, the sun will conjoin Pluto. So we have this energy, the closing of the moon cycle that started in Capricorn will carry over this energy and emphasize the antagonism, the confrontation, the frustration. So, if you are, for example, if you are married and you have a serious confrontation, so make sure that you stop and think, and that you have a moment or a time separated to meditate, go for a walk in the park, because things that you do at this point may have a total fracture of the relationship. So it may be irreversible. It may be this point of no return. And if you think about Mercury out of bounds in Capricorn, it's a Mercury that is very serious, and it might say more than it wants to say. Depends. Maybe this Mercury is ready to burst out the truth and the only the truth, and that will be the end of it. So some relationships may come to this point of no return, this point of, okay, we either solve the problem or we cut this relationship, is ending, it's over. So, and I say cut because Mars is cutting, is a cutting energy, and is very bright and very red at this moment. It's very hot. So this would be like boiling water emotionally. It will be a burning kind of energy. So use the Uranus, the sextile and the trine to the sun. So when the sun has a trine to Uranus, right before this full moon, um, there is there's a moment of good luck, that you can find an original way to express yourself, maybe trying something different. I don't know, wearing different clothes or behaving in a different way. Um, and this Sun trine Uranus can really help you understand something all of a sudden, have a revelation, have a burst of intuition, all of a sudden, that eureka moment that will you understand something, and or something unusual happens, and then you change, your personality changes. um, so inspiration will be very good at this time. um, Both Uranus is trining the sun, and the moon is trining Neptune. So on both sides, you have help with inspiration, with compassion that you can tap into. So try to tap into that empathy, right? Trying to understand the other person, trying to find what the other person is needing or expressing, instead of just butting heads with the other person. So those two aspects will be helpful. to get out of this incredible tension, so explosive. Um, and the let's see. Um After that, no, before the full moon, we also have the trine between the moon and Saturn. That really it's like having emotional sobriety, as I always say. So that emotional sobriety may help you carry through this full moon that is so explosive. So there are ways to, as I said, with compassion, with listening, with imagination, intuition, trying to see beyond what is visible with your eyes, trying to understand with love, with and also tried a method of relating to another person um, that is different, new, something original. So what else do we have this week? Well, the following day after the moon enters Leo and opposes Pluto. So, as I said again, this is this transformation, emotionally transformative kind of energy, and it's very powerful. And Venus is squaring Jupiter, so there is indulgence. There is. Maybe in order to make up with your partner, you decide to, I don't know, buy roses and chocolate, or go to an expensive restaurant, or buy a trip somewhere where you can reconcile and try and start spending more money than you have. So because this is formula, Venus square Jupiter, for indulgence and overdoing it, either eating or sex or any pleasures. Um, and also financial problems, right? So be careful not to be carried away. Now, the following day, Wednesday, is when the Sun opposes Mars. And again, the thing continues. So the Friday, I think it could be a softer day because we have the Sun sextile Neptune, which may help with more compassion, more empathy, understanding, more calmer waters. Um, and then on Saturday, Venus conjoins Saturn. So that's reality bath. The cold water after spending so much money trying to make it good or reconcile or trying to please the other person, then you are faced with the bill. um, okay, so that's how the moon will be closing the cycle, and the next step will be the waning square, and I think that will be in somewhere in Libra, maybe at the end of Libra. Let me see. I will tell you. Is no, it's at 2 degrees of Scorpio. It's on the 21st. So it's passing Libra, and now we repeat, because now the moon will be exactly square Pluto. So the moon will be at 2 degrees of Scorpio and Pluto 1.5 degrees of Aquarius. Uh, so, and yeah, so we repeat this intensity once more. So as you see, this is not an easy moon cycle. I wish you good luck, and I hope this kind of information helps you, guides you, and keep it in mind so you don't burn the ships. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Feel free to ask questions, and here you have my information in order to order your order your reading. You can write to my email here. I am a consulting professional astrologer, so you can confidently send me your data, and we'll start from there. I do interviews through whatever platform you prefer. It could be Google Meet, it could be Zoom, it could be WhatsApp. And you are free to record the conversation, so to keep it. And I do follow-ups as well. So make sure you contact me with your questions, right? Okay, I'll see you next time then. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.